They out of here plotting on my downfall. Bitch, I'm out here. I ain't going nowhere.
Do you have any idea what time it is?
Bitch, I'm out here. You ain't doing what I'm doing. You ain't moving like I'm moving.
You know. All right, what's good, what's good, what's good? It's your boy Shady with the C.O.E show. And in the building, I got Qurfew.
Yeah, you already know I'm out here.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Hey, let them know who you are.
Yo, it's your boy Qurfew. For y'all that don't know, it's Qurfew with a Q, Qurfew. You can find me everywhere.
That's what's up, Well, let's get right to it, man. So, first off, I know you've been doing music, been killing it, doing hella shows, because we've been doing hella shows together.
Ooh, that part.
You know what I mean? And it's a blessing. So I just want to throw that out there right now. Shout out to my boy Qurfew. Yeah, but go just to get started. What is your earliest memory of music?
I would have to say probably like 6th, 7th grade. As far as like recording music, or you just music in general?
Just music in general. When did you know you love music? When did you know music was a thing?
It was probably, I was probably like 5 or 6, and we used to go to this park. My parents would take me to this park to go play, and at the park they had one of those outside like theaters, what are those stages? Theaters,
The stages,
or whatever.
yeah.
You know, where they would have like violin players and like stuff like that. And it was like, it looked like it was like all concrete. You know what I mean? Like an outside one. And my mom said that every time I go, the first thing I would do is get on top of all the way on top of the stage and act like I'm performing for people.
Oh, that's hard.
You know, and then she told me like that's when she knew like that I was gonna be into music, because that's I always gravitated towards music. You know what I mean? I always wanted to entertain people. Like that's what I love to do.
Just natural.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope, man. So how did you get into music?
I got into music as far as like, well, before rap, when I was like 8 years old, I started like a little band, and it was like just 3 of us. Like, you know, I was doing the drums, but I didn't have drums. I was just hitting stuff with some sticks I found, you know. And it was probably like 3 months, and then we broke up, and then started another band when I was in middle school, like 6th, 7th grade. But then by then, I was just obsessed and in love with hip hop. So like I kind of like, you know, got away from that band, and Nas's album Godson is what really made me super fall in love with hip hop, and then I was obsessed.
Godson
in 2002. I actually went and bought that album because I saw that music video. You know, I know I can't be what I want to be. Like that record right there.
If I wore a cat on a date, I can't have a dog. Yeah.
Like that record, like super motivated me. It was so inspirational to me, and no other music ever made me feel like that. You know what I mean? Like it was like so empowering. Like what is this? And it's just a bunch of kids my age, like, you know, in the video. I thought it was so cool. And then from there, you know, he had that other song, Made You Look. I was like, whoa.
Ha, Made You Look. Yeah, that song's hard, bro.
Because before that, I just knew about like a lot of like the West Coast classics that everybody would play, or like Eminem. You know, because when Eminem came out, everybody's like, oh, who's this white boy going crazy, right? But not till Godson is when I really was like, yo, I really like this. You know?
This is hip hop. This is rap. Like, oh, snap.
And that summer is when I started, I believe like summer 02 or 03, probably 02, when I started making beats. You know, I had got this used synthesizer, but it was for techno.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
So like every sound was like very like, and I would just make beats off of that. And it had like the lights, and wherever the light hit with the tempo, that's what it would hit on the beat that you would put in there.
Oh dang, that's dope.
And then you could save 128 beats. So then that's when I started making my own beats on there, because I could save. You know, I didn't need a computer. But then from that, obviously, I transitioned into making beats on FL Studio, and then I would have friends come over, and all my friends breakdance, and I would just make beats, or they would breakdance to my beats.
Oh, that's hard, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love breakdancing, so that's cool.
So I was a producer, I guess you could say, before I was an artist.
That's dope. So you recorded a lot of people?
Everybody came to my house. My mom didn't like me going out to other people's houses, so she found it to be a hack to well, they can come here, you know. So she would cook. She didn't care. They played like I would. My mom would only buy me gaming systems because she knew I didn't really play them, just so my friends would come over to want to stay there and play video games
and kick it.
So I wouldn't go to their house.
So just stay here. We got everything you need.
Yeah.
What do you need to go over there for?
Yeah, we have everything, you know.
That's tight, bro.
And stuff like that, and yeah, so that's how. But it was cool. But that's what got me so much practice. Like just people record, like when when it was fun, you weren't even worried about mixing it or anything. Just recording it was fun. Like look,
just raw, raw, and just hearing it.
Yeah, even if it was like fart noises.
That's funny. I remember doing that my first time, and I didn't even care about presets or none of that sound effects. We just some reverb, and that was it. That was the only sound effect we knew about.
And like sometimes I miss those times because like those were like the pure times where you were just excited to record. Like, nothing else mattered. Not how many streams, how many people care about your music. It was just about
for the love.
You and the homies, and you like that right there. You thought you were on, you know. So yeah, so I had a lot of practice. I could say I feel like over 100 people came over to record from the time I was 12 till I was like 19 at the house. Like so many people came through to record, you know. And like the cool part is I always kept all my hard drives on my computer, so I can actually go look at old sessions from when I was 12.
That's dope, bro. When did you start rapping?
I started rapping probably when I was like 16, 17. And I didn't release my first project till senior year when I was 17. The album's called The Gemini, and I was working at Domino's. So in Domino's, I would sometimes I would put my album in people's orders.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart.
And actually, for Ridgecrest, that album kind of went viral for me because I was selling so many of the albums, and I was selling them for like $5 each. And like even people would hit me up like, I didn't know you rap. I didn't know you rap because I never let nobody know I rap.
You were a closet rapper for a while?
Yeah, I was just the guy that was making beats and recording everybody for free, you know. So yeah, the first project I did was The Gemini, and people were like, "Yo, this is pretty good for your first project," you know. It was a lot of what's it called, industry beats, and a couple of what's it called. Back in the day, before we stole beats on YouTube, we would steal them off of a website called SoundClick.
SoundClick?
I don't know if you remember SoundClick.
Yeah, my boy used to shout out to Precise. He used to always take his beats from right there. Be like, man, I got you.
Yeah. So that's basic. So around 2007 is when I started, when I released my first project, really taking it serious. And then from there, I would pretty much drop an album every year.
No damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard. It's a lot of work, huh?
Yeah. But I tell people that I didn't take it serious until 2016.
That's cool, man.
That's when I knew this was gonna be my life, and nothing can come, in between any of that.
That's dope, bro. And who are some of your biggest influences?
50 Cent, Tupac, Nas, Big Pun, and Chameleonaire.
Damn. Why?
Chameleonaire, because I was obsessed with his mixtape series called Mixtape Messiah. That was back in the days when you would like download off of that Piff. And to me, he had the best freestyles. Like his freestyle was crazy. And that Texas flow to me, to this day, like when I'm riding around in the car, I play a lot of Texas music. Because they like to talk about candy cars, and it's a little bit more relaxed, slow. I don't got to think about the lyrics. It's just, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be too intelligent.
It's just a hard beat.
It's just a hard ass beat.
Sometimes,
yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And they say some slick shit, but it doesn't go over your head. You know what I'm saying? So it's like real good riding music. Obviously, you already know I'm always in the car, so I need some real good riding music.
Something good for sure.
50, just because when he came, man, come on, everybody has to put him at least in your top 10. And not you're hating, because when that 03 to 07 50 Cent, he took over.
50?
Yeah, he took over the game. Those albums were classics. he came with like you wanted to be a gangster. No matter how much of a square you were, like you listen to 50, you're like, I'll whip your head, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just, like, that shit just went so hard. Yup. But at the same time, he had you saying, can I be your best friend? You feel me?
Smooth too. Smooth gangster, bro.
Hella smooth.
That's what's inspirational, you know. That's kind of like what inspires my music a lot. That type of music, you know, that gangster love.
And it was crazy because coming from the West Coast, and, you know, when he was beefing it with Game, people were choosing Game side. And I was, like, one of the only few out here that was like, nah, man, fuck Game. It's all about 50, you feel me? Because to this day, I'm such a 50 fan. And not just only for his music. Like, he inspires me because he's such a dope entrepreneur. Like, anything he touches turns into gold, literally.
Yeah, all his movies, his everything, all his art.
Everything.
All his art. His shows, everything, you know what I mean?
Bro, the dude, all he did was put on vitamin water and made vitamin 50 and then made $100 million off of vitamin water. Who does that?
For real.
Like, you know what I mean?
He's smart, bro.
Yeah, and he only had been out for like a year. He made vitamin water turn into $100 million company in 1 year. Like, that's insane.
Killed it, bro. Sold it. Was it for $500 million or something like that? Man, eating good.
Off of one album. And that's why a lot of industry people hate him because he was too smart, like the contracts that he was a part of. So saying that inspired me to really be like, yo, if I get signed, you got to look at the contracts. You got to be smart because you don't want to miss out on a lot of money. And I think he inspired a lot of people to really try to go for good contracts, not these 360 deals.
Yeah, be smarter, huh? Mm-hmm. Think for themselves, be more independent.
Yeah. And then obviously Nas was like my first introduction. He's the one that, you know, made me get into the door of hip hop. So, and then Tupac, man, it's Tupac, very inspirational. He's an activist, you know, he's a lover of all people. But yet he was very powerful, like you said. And he could go gangster, he could be artistic, he could be soft.
Do a movie.
Do a movie. Take your girl.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time give you therapy.
Yeah.
For taking your girl. Yeah. You know, he was so
rap you through it.
rap you through it. He was just probably one of the only all around rappers that can hit every corner. Like, I don't think we've had that again. You know, I think we've probably had other biggies, but I don't think to this day we haven't had another Tupac.
No, not.
I don't think nobody can think off the top of their head like who could come close.
Not like
hit
that.
every corner.
Not like that at all.
And I think it's probably gonna take a long time before we do.
We see something like that, huh?
Yeah. Like, think about it. He's one of the only rappers that every generation fucks with him. You know, after a while, certain rappers, they die down. And they kind of, you know, you knew they had a hit, but it's whatever. Tupac is still super relevant.
Hey, some of this young generation, they be trying to hate, and then I be hearing their music playing, and then it's Tupac blasting through it. I'm like, man, get out of here, y'all. Man, y'all just hating because that's one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah, Tupac's always gonna be in people's playlists, no matter how old or how young. He's timeless. You know how some people are like, oh, I grew out of my hip hop phase. Like, who grows out of Tupac?
Yeah,
like,
I don't.
You can't grow out of Keep Your Head Up. That's my favorite Tupac record.
California Love.
California, come on.
Hits every time.
Every time. Dear Mama.
Oh, man. Might pull a tear out.
Mm-hmm. Every time. I was just on the car ride back from AZ. I played Thug's Mansion, and, you know, our homegirl, Rogue Lucky, she shed a tear. You know what I mean? I don't know if she wants me to put it out there, but I was bumping Thug's Mansion, and she was in the back. I was like, you good? She's like, it's just Tupac. He gets me every time. But yeah, stuff like that, bro. And then obviously Big Pun, man. He's a big guy that killed it. You know, he's a legend. And that's what I'm trying to be a legend.
Yeah, man. You're on your way there.
Big people, you feel me?
On your way there, man, you know, keep putting on, stay consistent, you know, keep doing all the shows, got to keep networking, you know, promotion, all that, you know.
And you can't stop because we're making noise.
Yeah, big time. Paid shows.
What?
2 in 1 week.
Whoever thought that'd be possible.
So, baby, let's go. You know what I mean? So, but, you know, so how would you describe your style?
My style, I would say, is like a lot of like energy, but yet smooth. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like it's like smooth, easy to listen to, but yet it's in your face energy. You know what I mean?
But you got so many styles too, you know. You got some hard, like, you know, you just be spitting. You also got some your love music, some Spanish. You know, you be, I be studying you. You know, I watch you. You know, and I watch all your different styles and how you move in the industry, and it's good. You know, all your collaborations, all that. It's gonna start trickling. You know.
Yeah, and I'm just a learner of the game. Like I feel like I'm on my second wave of learning of what to do to stay ahead and get to that next level. Like I think I'm right there at the surface to reach the next step.
Yep.
You
Kicking that
I mean?
door in right now.
Mm-hmm.
I see it already.
Yeah.
I see it. You know what I mean? It's popping. You know what I mean? It's popping. So like what kind of message do you bring with your music?
My message is like a lot of hustle music. So it's like go and get it. Like, you know what I mean? Don't doubt yourself. Don't care about what other people are telling you. Everybody has their own journey. So just don't quit. It's all about just being consistent and don't quit. Even if it's the long game, you know what I mean? Just never quit because eventually you will get there. You know what I mean? But everybody's journey is different. You know what I mean? It might take somebody 3 years, another 5 years, another person 10 years. It's never going to be easy.
Be open-minded, huh?
But be open-minded, but be a hustler. Because that one, I always tell people, once you stop, when you come back, you're back to square one. This game doesn't give a fuck about you taking a fucking vacation. It doesn't.
Nope.
People think,
solidified.
oh, I'm just going to take a break and I'll come back to it. You could do that, but guess what?
Especially if you're upcoming.
If you're upcoming, you got to start. If you haven't had, what's that word? Accolade. If you haven't reached at least one accolade, you have to start from the beginning. Because that accolade, okay, you can come back, but you're going to start that accolade, right? That's the right word. I'm lost for words right now. But basically, like you said, if you haven't reached some type of momentum, you're gonna always start from ground zero. You know. So imagine all that work you put in for 5 years, and you're gonna start out again.
Yeah.
And then then promoters are gonna trust you. They might fuck with you, and they like you, but they're like, "What? Are you gonna quit again?" You know, we have trust issues in this fucking game.
Yeah, it's serious.
Very serious.
Very serious. You know, if I don't do a show with one of them or something, I'll be getting pressed. Hey, how you doing? Here's these shows. You know, they'll start sending me just a list of shows. Like, hey, which ones you want to get on? Which ones you want to get on? And they're pretty consistent, you know.
And those are good problems to have.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah. You don't want to lose those problems, because if you quit and you start again, he might not send you that list.
Exactly.
He might be like, "Let me see what I can do," and you might not hear from him. So
one day they'll be booking me.
That part. You're not even looking for it. You're just gonna have so many to choose from.
Like, oh.
Yup.
I'm gonna go perform in space. Not just kidding.
Fucking Elon Musk. You get a message from Tesla like, "Hey."
So, where are you from?
I am from. I always tell people I'm from Norwalk, but I was born in Colorado.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I was born in Burlington, Colorado for 2 months of my life, and then we moved to Norwalk. So, yeah, Norwalk, California is where I'm from, 562, Southeast LA. A lot of people don't know that's still LA, but I got the best of like 3 worlds because I'm above Long Beach, in the corner of LA, and then right next to Orange County.
So you were next to all of it.
Yeah, so I got to see everything. I got to, see all the noise of Disney, and then be right by the beach, but at the same time got to grow up in an era where there was still a lot of gangsters, like in the 90s, as a kid, seeing my first drive-by when I was 5 years old.
Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that, huh? Mm-hmm. It's popping, though. It's popping in LA. Still popping in LA.
It's still, Norwalk's nice now, but I got to see
gentrified.
that. It's gentrified, yeah, definitely.
They started hooking it up. They say, "Oh man, we need this. We need to liven it up a little bit."
Mm-hmm.
Too many people getting killed.
But I went to high school in Ridgecrest from 10th to 12th grade. So I always tell people my second home is Ridgecrest.
Shout out to Rich Crest.
Because it's just that little, because it's such a small town, and just that little time that I went to school here, I made so many friends, so many connections, to the point that when I moved out in '09, I would always come back to party. I didn't even party in LA. I would come like every 2 weekends to come party here because this is where it was at. It was cracking. And if you know those times,
Rich Crest still cracking. Now we're bringing it back.
mm-hmm.
We're bringing it back, but in a more productive, professional way.
Yeah, and I'm talking about back in the days there was Project X parties going on.
Like you wouldn't even know. Just ask about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Rich Crest. Shout out to Rich Crest, man.
So
We've had to jump in.
So shout out to the 562 and shout out to the 760.
Yup, you already know, man. 760-3. No, just kidding. So, what's your right now? What would you say is your most popping song?
My most popping song, performance-wise, would have to be my song "Bitch I'm Out Here," and "What You Know."
What you know?
As far as like performance-wise, like people just love the energy,
They know the songs too, especially "Bitch I'm Out Here."
Yep.
"Bitch I'm Out Here." Everybody knows that one.
But like streaming and music video-wise,
I would also say "Down for Me."
oh, and "Down for Me." Yeah,
I would say down for me, but everybody, the guys too, bro. Last time we were there,
what? Yeah, that part.
the whole motherfucking place was singing "Down for Me." You know,
Yeah.
people that I didn't even know knew the song. Maybe you should perform that one more. That won't be. That's a hit.
Yeah, and then obviously for like music videos or streaming, my most popular songs would have to be "Real One," "Rider," and what other song? Oh, right now, people love "Underrated." It still gets a lot of views.
That's a good song though.
On its own,
Yeah, that's a good song. That song's dope.
Mm-hmm.
I remember y'all writing that right here. That's a really good song, man. Y'all ripped that one. Shout out to Rogue Lucky.
Shout out to Rogue.
Yeah, man. So what's your favorite thing about being an artist, a rapper, an entrepreneur, man? Because you're an entrepreneur. You be out there hustling, grinding.
As artist-wise, the best thing that I like is like being able to inspire others. Like I know it sounds corny,
Nah,
like some Miss America type thing. Like
No,
I'm
bro,
trying to
that's
inspire the world and world peace. No, but some real stuff like inspiring other artists and other people. Like to me, that's the best thing. I love getting those messages, or I love when people come up to me and tell me that kind of stuff, because it gives you purpose, And then obviously the other part I like about being an artist is when after you perform, and like the people that come to you, that come up to you and be like, "Yo, that was dope," and this
Feels
and that.
good, huh?
That's always the best high. Like I'll be high for like a whole day after that.
Yeah, same, bro. When they want to take pictures, when that chick came up to us and she's like, "Let me get a picture with you guys." That stuff feels real good, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Shout out to those 2 girls that came up to us. Like y'all some real ones.
I know I got her business card.
I do too. I got it in my wallet.
Shout her out.
I gotta give her over. Yo, we shared her. She got her own business.
For real, hey,
She's got a vintage store, I believe. Oh, right
there
here.
There you go, baby.
Shout out to Sarah Chapman. What is it? It says Brass Armadillo Antique Mall.
Damn.
That's her business. So make sure y'all go support her at 13277 West McDowell Road in Goodyear, Arizona.
That's right. Let's go. No.
And her brand is called Darling Do-Overs.
Darling Do-Overs.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Darling Do-Overs.
So I'm guessing she's got like 2 businesses in one, or that's just her name. Either way, Goodyear, Arizona. Y'all go look her up, Sarah Chapman. Shout out to you.
So where do you see your music? And I would say, what's your short-term goal with music, and what's your long-term goal with music?
Short-term goal right now is I want to get to at least $2,000 a month off of music. So I can really not have to worry about doing any side jobs that don't relate to music.
That'd be nice.
At least, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then that way I could go full force. Because, I throw shows and I make money off of those. I want to be able to do more of those. If not, in the route that you're taking, which is very inspirational, is being able to get booked for shows that are paying gigs. You know what I'm saying? So try to attract that more. And then on the long-term goal, obviously, is to double, triple, quadruple the $2,000. Be able to hit overseas, and my goal is to perform in every state first, right? Or even go overseas, but either way, perform in different states.
Knock them out, huh?
Just knock them out, bam, bam, bam. Go on tour, a real tour. Like, really have a tour bus and go with, like, the dopest people.
Just run that shit.
Like, in the future, whoever's with me on this tour, because it's going to happen, whoever is, as long as we're having a good time, making memories, and really going out there and getting fans and doing what we love to do and inspiring and shit, that's the dream right there. You know what I'm saying? Just do that. That's what I see in the long term. And then going overseas.
That's dope.
Stuff like that, man. Like, this is all I ever want to do. I never wanted to do anything else.
Where do you see No Excuses?
No Excuses. I feel it like growing into a movement. Like, even if it doesn't grow as a big record, I think the No Excuses brand is just a good movement. Like, it's bigger than me.
I think it's powerful. You mean?
Yeah.
I fucks with it real tough. You know, No Excuses. Shout out to No Excuses, bro. Like, I think it's it's inspirational. You know, because every time you feel like something's in your way or something, you know, I'm just like, no excuses. You know, like, you just find solutions. You know, it's a big thing. You know, the other day I was rocking it and it was just like, I got a little problem happen. I seen the fucking shirt. I was like, no excuses. You know, it's like, oh shit, I just unplugged my fucking my headphones.
Yeah, and that's like some people's like favorite workout shirt. Like, I'll get tagged, like, when if they bought it a year ago, that's still their workout shirt. You know what I mean? They'll tag me in the story, and like, that's inspirational. You know, they're using that to motivate what they want to accomplish in life. That's why I say it's bigger than me. You know, just that statement alone can do anything for anybody. It's bigger than music. It's bigger than Qurfew, and I'm pretty big. You know,
for real. Hey, let's cut real quick to Bitch I'm Out Here to a quick scene. You got that music video?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? We're gonna cut to Bitch I'm Out Here real quick. We'll be right back here shortly.
Let's go. They out here plotting on my downfall. Bitch, I'm out here. I ain't going nowhere.
Do you have any idea what time it is?
Bitch, I'm out here. You ain't doing what I'm doing. You ain't moving like I'm moving. Bitch, I'm out here. Bitch, I'm out here. You ain't out here in these streets. You ain't never brought that heat. Bitch, I'm out here. Bitch, I'm out here. You ain't doing what I'm doing. You ain't moving like I'm moving. Bitch, I'm out here. Bitch, I'm out here. You ain't out here in these streets. You ain't never brought that heat. Bitch, I'm out here. Bitch, I'm out here. They say, Qurfew, where you been? I've been stacking ends. I've been paranoid. I ain't got no friends. If you ain't talking money, I don't comprehend. I've been with the devil. All I do is sin. I tell him, tell me when to go. I'm about to blow. I've been everywhere. Rocking every show. You been stuck on vibe. Your girl is what I like. Hit her from behind. Had her for one night. Now I know you mad. I'ma chase a bag. I ain't gotta brag. I'm staying fast. Drilling that's the crew. We self-made bosses. All we do is win. We don't take no losses. I move with precaution. You rappers make me nauseous. I'm a hit. You're a pussy cat, so I know you're harmless. If you ask where I've been trying to get a Benz. $1 billion visit comes through my lens. You ain't doing what I'm doing. You ain't moving like I'm moving. Bitch, I'm out here. Bitch, I'm out here. You ain't out here in these streets. You ain't never brought that heat. Bitch, I'm out here. Bitch, I'm out here. You ain't doing what I'm doing. You ain't moving like I'm moving. Bitch, I'm out here.
All right. That was a little snippet of Bitch I'm Out Here by Qurfew featuring 2020. How do you feel about that song?
Ooh, man, I love that song. That's like the best intro to my music, you know, intro to everything. You see me performing it, you're going to be like, okay, that's one of them ones.
It's hyped. How do you, did you produce the beat for that song?
Yeah, actually I did. I made that beat probably like 4 years ago. And I came up with that concept actually when I was on tour with I Suppose. Because, you know what I mean? after I would perform, because I always had like hype songs. I was always in people's faces, and I remember somebody on tour being like, "I'm out here, we out here," and it just stuck with me. I'm like, man, I want to make a song. I'm out here.
That's hype like that.
You know what I mean? You know how now like the kids say, "We outside." Man, I was saying I'm out here before that. And yeah, I just went in the studio. I made that beat. I definitely wanted it to be like West Coast influence. So I'm, when you hear the bass line, it's West Coast. Doom, doom, doom.
Yeah, you sounded exactly like it when you did that. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah. Do you produce all your own beats?
I used to pride myself on all my beats being produced by me, but the older I got, the more I seen that I was missing. When I rap to other people's beats, I get different vibes than my own, which is I thought was weird at first, and I'm just like, yo, I don't want to limit myself to only make a certain type of music, because when I hear other people's beats, I get inspired to make other stuff. You know what I mean? So then that's how I started. Now I produce, probably 1/3, and then the other is other people, either people I know personally, or I'll reach out to people to make me a certain type of beat, or sometimes I'll go online and try to find inspiration, and if I really like it, then I'll purchase the beat.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
So I go all over the place. I feel like, sometimes you might not be able to get inspired by your own, so you kind of have to go and find inspiration.
Keep an open mind.
Yeah.
Especially in music, it keeps you creative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's important. Who's your favorite producer?
My favorite producer would probably have to be, his name is Superstar O, and he used to kill it on SoundClick back in the days. And listening to his beats would really inspire me, because he was like one of those producers that was making those real like anthems. Like he's the original guy that made that. Remember that one song by Roscoe Dash? All the way turned up.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. That's what he was known for, like the horns and like real like
hi-fi music.
Like and like gladiator, like ready to fight, like boxing ring type of music.
I like those kind of. I like those.
Yeah. So I started just getting inspired, and I started making a lot more like those kind of beats because of him. But I would always gravitate towards going back and listening to him. So he actually inspired a lot of the beats that I made. So I would say he's my favorite.
That's dope. That's dope, bro.
But in the game, obviously Dr. Dre, Just Blaze, and my favorite sample based producer would be Kanye.
Kanye West. Yeah, he's
the way he's, because when I do sample beats, I try to make them different and weird, and he was the first one to do that. It wasn't just normal cut a sample and then put a beat over it. This guy would time stretch it, chipmunk the voice, and then put his own drums on it and make it sound weird and different. Like, so that's where I got a lot of that inspiration from.
It helped, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how do you so what kind of I would say, what kind of music artist do you see yourself? Do you see yourself just like a rapper or Chicano rapper? Like how do you categorize yourself?
Just artist.
Just an artist?
Yeah, I wouldn't even call myself a rapper.
Because you have different
or a hip hop artist. I'm just an artist. And then being stuck in like Chicano category, like first of all, I'm half Colombian. Even though I grew up in LA around all my friends were Mexican, you know what I mean? I never like to be labeled that, because it's like they put you in a box. No disrespect to anybody that wants to be considered that, but I think it just puts you in a box. Like, I'm trying to get a Grammy, not just a Latin Grammy.
Yeah, I feel you.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, that's disrespectful. Like, in a way, like, it's just like, damn, I'm trying
That's
to...
just racist.
Like, I'm not trying to limit myself. I'm trying to reach... Because they're always going to put Grammys above Latin Grammys.
Yeah, of course.
So, I mean, it'll be dope. You know what I'm saying? I'll take my blessings. But if you're in this, you want to reach the heights. If Grammy's higher than Latin Grammy, give me the Grammy, bro. And to do that, if I have to be considered an artist, not a Chicano artist, And that's what I'm going for.
I want that World Music Award.
The award, what? That part. Or Billboard Award.
You know?
You know what I mean? Because you can't really cheat that. That's off of your numbers, you know? It's not off of somebody that barely knows you that voted for you.
Or, I forgot. It's like, they're like, man, they made that billboard because they just dropped 100 racks on bots.
Yup, exactly. Man. And speaking of that, that's the era that we live in right now. So it's kind of hard to see who's really popping these days. But if you really listen to music, you know who's popping.
Yep, that's why I do, like, you know, that's why I do personally a lot of my own hands-to-hand promotion, you know, because there's a lot of bots. And I've had people, they're like, let me put you on a playlist. But then, you know, I'm not generating revenue from the songs, you know, so that's why I cut that out, because it's like, what's the point of having these streams and these listeners if you're not generating that revenue? Like, if that money's not coming in, you know? Exactly. It's just like it's just a smoke screen, you know? There's nothing there. Now, everything's just been organic. Let me tell you that it's that income definitely is moving on up with those streams, you know, and you can see the difference.
Yeah, because, you know, some people like to move just to look good, and then some people move to actually really be able to move. If we're not making no income off of this, how are you really moving?
Exactly.
Like, you just want to look cool? Like, what is that going to do? It's not going to give you income to move. You need income to be able to move around.
Because you just spend in for no reason.
Yeah, that's
just
why now,
cool.
now that's why I look at artists, not to just perform everywhere. I look at artists that perform out of state a lot. Because you need money. You know, even if it's a little bit of money, you gotta be out. You're not gonna be at your regular 9-to-5 job because you gotta go on tour. Even if it's just for a couple of days, you gotta have money for food. You gotta have money for lodging, traveling, etc., 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 etc. So if I see an artist with 1,000 followers, but this motherfucker is going to state every week, he's popping. With 1,000 followers, but they're probably all real followers.
Organic.
And not just followers, real supporters. You know, because they say technically you can live off of 100 fans. That's what they say. And I believe that.
Me too. I'm starting to see it.
You know, and people are like, oh, like, ooh, like, why do you want to put people down like they're your fan, blah, blah, blah. But that's what you do this for. Like, some people get inspired by listening to people. If you can be able to inspire somebody and the least they feel they can do is buy a t-shirt, then so be it. Like, shout out to y'all that support the underground, or any artist that go and buy tickets without trying to ask for a discount, that buy a piece of merch. You know what I mean? Even if it's anything small, like a pen with your name on it. You know what I mean? A lighter with your name on it. Whatever it can be, you know, or people who donate. You know, I've made campaigns on social media, like on Facebook, being like, yo, I'm about to go on tour. If anybody wants to donate to my tour, you know what I mean? Even if it's $1, anything helps. And boom, you know, closed mouths don't get fed. And boom, you know, I made like $200 that night from people who want to support the tour. But you never find out who supports you if you don't, if you don't go out there and
try
and advertise yourself.
Yep.
And put yourself out there. Like, stop trying to feel embarrassed. Like, if this is what you do, then fuck it. People are always like, oh, people begging for money, this, and that. I'm like, man, you're not here with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking haters on social media. Mm-hmm. But who cares? There's a lot of different strategies to taking your movement forward, you know? This shit ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not cheap. You know, it takes a million hustles, you know, in order to do it independent. You know, without having like a million sponsors or people to have that backing, you know, of money. You know, that's the hard part of, I would say, of entertainment. But I would say that's like the most challenging and the best part. You mean, because it feels good when you accomplish all those goals. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, that's my favorite. That's my favorite part. Like, you can't do this, bitch. Watch.
Watch me do it.
Watch, I'm gonna do it 10 times now. You mean just for you, you know? And then I'm gonna do it 20 more times for me, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, bro. That's just cool. I don't know. I love music, you know? How do you feel? How do you like performing?
Like I said, performing is like the only thing in life that ever got me so high. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'll bug out for like a whole 24 hours off of a 10-minute performance.
I feel that.
You know what I mean? And sometimes I won't be able to sleep.
Just high.
Just thinking about it. And it's crazy. You know what I mean? You could do it. I could do it over and over again and still get the same feeling. And like people say, oh man, you probably so used to performing, bro. I get butterflies still. To this day, right before I'm about to go on stage, I have so much fucking anxiety and butterflies. But once you give me that mic, I'm like, man, I ain't gonna
forget all of it.
All of it. I'm like, I ain't gonna go out like no bitch.
The only thing for me, I'll get cotton mouth.
Yeah. Oh,
for some reason, I get cotton mouth really easy when it comes to performing. My mouth just dries the fuck up.
I'm glad I don't have that problem, but I always see like people that do super long sets. They have so many bottles of water and waiting for them and shit.
I gotta use gum, Starburst. Hell yeah, bro! You got any advice for people in the music industry?
For people trying to get in there, or
just
people?
Period. People in it, trying to get in it. For both people trying to get in it and people already in it.
Like I said, everybody's journey is different. You can listen to 100 people, one person, but you, as long as you're consistent, I would say that everybody just needs to be consistent. But other than that, everybody's gonna get in their own way, because nothing's written. There's no law to this. You know what I mean? But there is consistency. You know what I mean? But you're gonna get in it your own way. Everybody's journey is way different. So sometimes do listen to the ones that have already reached that level that you're trying to reach to the next one. But if they haven't reached it yet, it's still up in the air, because you might get there the different way than them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's always like, listen to people, but also don't be dumb. Like, if they haven't got there yet, then they're still trying to figure it out. And in this game, everybody's a know-it-all. Even if they haven't got there, they're going to tell you, you're doing it wrong, doing this, doing that. And it's like, bro, just let them figure it out. Like, one time I asked for advice from I won't even name his name, because at the time I thought he was being a hater. But the older I got and the more into the game, I appreciated his advice that he gave me. So like I said, I took this music very serious in 2016. By the time 2017, 2018 came along, I was really starting to make a name for myself in LA. So there were certain people that were way more ahead of me that I was looking up to. And they used to come up to me, and be like, yo, you dope, blah, blah, blah. And one of them, I would see him at a lot of shows. So I became comfortable, and I would talk to him. And then I was like, I'm going to ask him for some advice, because he's on that next level. And he was like, bro, I can't give you no advice. Just enjoy the journey. And he's like, that's all I can tell you. Enjoy the journey. And I was like, man, this guy's an asshole, right? But when I got older, I was like, you know what? He's right. I'm like, just enjoy the journey you're on, because the way he did it is not going to work for me. You know what I mean? Just keep working and enjoy the journey.
Yeah, but he could have still gave you some tips.
He could have. He could have, but at the same time, he could have gave me some advice that I would have never remembered. Because I always remember that.
But he made you think about it, a lot.
Enjoy the journey. You know what I mean? And I do. I try to.
That stuck with you.
Yeah, like, you know how everybody's like, sometimes you get stressed out, like, damn, this didn't work out, or this wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be.
Just say fuck it. Brush it off and move on to the next ones.
And go on to the next one and enjoy whatever happiness did happen that day.
Every little positive.
Like, the whole thing could have not worked out, but that one person that came up to you to be like, you're dope, that was worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to enjoy the journey. That's part of the journey. And you never know, later on when you get bigger, that guy's at your big show, be like, hey, I remember you.
Remember that shit that happened, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're just like, oh, damn, you were the only one there.
And guess what? That's when you're going to appreciate the journey.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, damn, I remember that day. I was stressed the fuck out.
But it was like, fuck it. Let's rock it out. Like, there's a million people here.
So that's advice I give. Like, work hard, be consistent, but always make sure that you enjoy the journey, because it's gonna be a fucking journey.
And believe in yourself. I think I'm gonna give some advice real quick is believe in yourself. One thing I see a lot of people beat themselves down is they're worried about who's supporting them. I think that's where I became most successful for myself. Is I stopped worrying about whatever anyone thought. I did not give a fuck if they're gonna support me or not. I said there's 7 billion people on this earth. I can convince a couple hundred of those 7 billion that my shit's tight. You know what I mean? That's all I needed. You know, it's all I needed in my brain, and from there it was just the growth. You know, because there, you know, out of everybody, you know, there are those people that will say in every fucking episode that you want to believe in you, that you want to be there in your journey, but they're not. You mean? And you just kind of, I learned to just suck it up, you know? You know, I didn't want to, and I want to, like, keep kind of like, what the fuck, bro? Come to my show, do this, what's up, blah, blah, blah. I always supported you, support me back, you know? But it's like, kind of like, fuck it, you know? Who cares? Like, I ain't gonna beg, you know? How about I'll just embrace the people who are supporting me, you mean? And show love to those people instead of trying to get people who aren't. Why waste my time? Because then that's wasted energy. You know what I mean? And just embrace the people who are there. You know what I mean? And that shit just comes sweeter. You know what I mean? Then next you know, you got friends, not just fans, you got friends. And it's pretty dope. But that's my advice, believe in yourself, because, you know, if you don't believe, that could be like your biggest mental barrier, you know, is not believing in yourself, wanting others to believe in you, but really you got to start with yourself and just stay consistent and not care. And it'll just come, you know, it just comes. Like, that's been the thing. It just starts to come. But that was the hardest thing. But once I could grasp past that, get past it in my head, that mental block, that was it, you know. I was like, the world is mine. You know what I mean? The world is mine from that point on. You know what I'm saying? You got, let me see. What's your feelings on the music industry? Just in general, from yourself, from your experiences, to what's going on today, you know? What's your feelings?
I think the music industry is going to go through another shift. And I believe right now is the time to take advantage, because there's more opportunities to be an independent artist than there ever was before. And now it's becoming to where all these big record labels are just basically banks. They've always been, but now we started seeing them more as just a bank. What else can they do for you than not give you money and then have you pay a lot of interest?
For
right?
real.
And like I've seen a couple of recent interviews where they talked about certain, like, that topic, and being like, you know what, a traditional bank loan might be even better than getting
that record
money,
deal.
That record deal. So you might want to borrow some money from the bank for your career than actually signing and keep it independent.
It's funny. I seen an advertisement on Facebook that was scrolling. It's probably gonna pop up now.
Yeah.
And it was saying that, you know, you don't need no industry. We'll give you the money you need for your music career. You know, you can do it independently. And I'm just like, dang, they're already catching on too. You know, they're starting their own little banks to fund these independent artists. If you're serious, it might work out for you. If you're not, you're gonna just be in debt.
Yeah, because what I'm seeing, what a lot of these independent record labels are doing, is like they'll get a big roster, and then just pump money into playlisting and all that, and then they're able to pay themselves and the artists. You know what I mean? That's basically the formula they're just doing over and over and over and over.
Just playlisting,
and then having a big roster, so they're not just relying on one artist that get all the streams. Yeah, and then depending on how they distribute, because everybody's different. They're not, sometimes some labels aren't gonna pay everybody equally to their streams. They might generate 100,000 off of these 20 artists, but at 100,000, there's one artist that's getting the 100,000. But because he's in control of that, he can distribute it how he wants to. However they whatever their deal was in the contract, you know what I mean. So if the weakest link, if he wants to give him a $20,000 loan off of this $100,000, $200,000 that he made off of 20 artists, he could do that. If you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's so different right now. It's just all about quantity with artists, and then playlisting. That's kind of the game right now.
That's the hustle, huh? And bots.
Yeah,
people are learning to use that
bots.
AI. Like I keep seeing AI music pop up, sounding just like the artists. You know what I mean? Replicating their style, the type of lyrics they would use,
That part.
the way they would say it. Like what the whole beat. You know what I mean? Like that's just crazy to me. You know, how far technology is coming. You know, it's trying to replace us. It's not gonna work, but it's always something. You know, it's just people, they're capitalizing on it right now as they can, but I don't see it.
Well, because what AI will never have is heart.
No soul.
No soul and heart. Music is all soul and heart.
That's it. It's all from the heart, the soul, the mind. You know, all together.
Yeah, you can only duplicate, but you can't make your own. Like, what's that word? You can't make your own inspiration. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You can only duplicate what vibe's already out. You couldn't make new shit.
Yeah, replicates it all, huh? Just can't create its own actual.
It can't go through. It can't tell you its own story. Doesn't have its own
It's all
story.
was built. Yeah.
I was built in a factory.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's
I don't even have no family.
Hey, do you what's it called? Well, I want to start off by saying thank you for coming here. You know, it's a blessing to have you. You know, episode 2. You know, bitch, I'm out here with Qurfew. You got anything you want to tell the guests? Shout outs.
You know, shout out to everybody who's been there from the jump. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the new content I've been releasing. You know what I mean? There was a music video up right now, Disrespectful, featuring Venom, shot by Sanders. Shout out to Sanders. Shout out to the whole squad. Shout out to 2020, Max the Monster, Van and Rome's, Tyree, Big Mike, Vandal. Shout out to Radio Flow. You know, shout out to my boy Scotty Ben. Shout out to anybody who believes and has been a part of this journey. You know, shout out to the whole C.O.E. camp. Shout out to AMP with De Leon. You know, I mean, there's just so many people I could shout out. Cali niggas, Kamani, you feel me? UNG Radio, always putting your boy on. You know, shout out to Accelerated Radio with Tony Rush, Double G.
Double G.
You feel me? He's a day one. Shout out to the Poetess on Morris Media Live. Shout out to You Got 15 Minutes. That whole podcast squad. They've embraced your boy for over a year now. And, you know, and I just want to say rest in peace to Big Gino, because without him, I would have never got my feet wet in radio. So, you know, he's the one that actually helped me prepare myself for all these interviews. You feel me? Yeah,
you do an amazing job. You can speak really well. You helped me prepare for, you know, where I'm at today. So that's a huge blessing. Shout out to Qurfew.
Hey.
You know.
We out here.
We out here, man. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you to It's a Boat Thing, our main sponsor from the beginning, from the start. Shout out to Chris Ortiz Entertainment. Shout out to my whole team. Shout out to the whole camp. We got just a lot of big things happening this year. Just want to give a thank you to my mom, to my family for believing in this movement and actually being dedicated to what we got going on. It took a little bit to get them on board, but now they're there and they ain't going nowhere.
Hey, yo, shout out to my mom and dad. Love y'all.
You mean? And then besides that, thank you everybody for tuning in. Check out this live performance right now by Qurfew. It's about to be popping. Have a blessed night.
Hey, we out here though.
Yo, shawty, bring your best friend. We can all get up and see how that ends. Oh, you some bad girl, we like that then. I bet by the end of the night